Our mission is to keep this work pure and accessible to everyone. If our work resonates with you and you find value in what we share, please consider supporting us via the link in the description.
There is a quiet revolution hidden inside one of the oldest spiritual texts in the world, and it begins with a single breathtaking promise. Every single living being, without any exception at all, already carries within them the seed of full awakening. The Lotus Sutra does not whisper this idea carefully. It declares it openly, boldly, and without conditions attached. It does not say that awakening belongs to monks who have renounced the world, or to scholars who have memorized thousands of pages, or to people who were born into the right circumstances. It says all living beings. That means the farmer in the field, the mother raising children alone, the person who feels like they have failed at almost everything they have ever tried. The sutra looks at each one of them and says, "You already have this within you." Nichiren Daishonin read those words and took them with complete seriousness. He understood that most people in his time were carrying enormous suffering. They were poor, afraid, confused, and overwhelmed by a world that felt like it was falling apart around them. The teachings available to most ordinary people at that time were complicated, demanding, and often felt far out of reach. Nichiren looked at all of that and made a decision. He was going to find a way to make the deepest truth of the Lotus Sutra available to everyone, not just the privileged few who had the luxury of years of formal study. That decision shaped everything about his path. He found that the title of the Lotus Sutra itself, Nam Myoho Renge Kyo, contained the entire essence of what the sutra was teaching. To chant those words with sincere faith was not a shortcut or a simplified version of the real teaching. It was the real teaching, made accessible. He wrote in his letters that chanting this phrase is the direct path to realizing the Buddha nature that already lives inside you. He called it tapping into your own life, the deepest and most luminous part of what you already are. This is what makes his path so remarkable for ordinary people living ordinary lives.
You do not need to leave your home.
You do not need to abandon your relationships or your responsibilities. You do not need to be perfect or fully healed or free of doubt before you begin. Nichiren taught that the practice meets you exactly where you are. He wrote in one of his letters that even a person who has committed great errors and carries heavy karma can transform their life through sincere practice. The Buddha nature inside you does not diminish because of your past.
It waits, patiently and fully intact, ready to be called forward.
Shakyamuni Buddha himself, in the parables of the Lotus Sutra, described a father who never stopped believing in his children, even when they had lost their way completely. He described a hidden treasure sewn into the lining of a coat that a poor man had been wearing for years without knowing it was there. These stories were pointing at the same truth. What you are searching for is not somewhere else. It has been with you all along. The practice is simply the process of discovering what was never actually lost. Nichiren understood that for ordinary people, faith has to be lived in the middle of real difficulty, not in spite of it. He faced exile, persecution, and the constant threat of death, and he continued to chant and to encourage others to chant. He wrote warm, personal letters to farmers, women, merchants, and grieving parents. He told them that their daily struggles were not obstacles to their practice. He taught that the very challenges of ordinary life are the ground where awakening actually grows. Every difficulty becomes a place to practice.
And every place to practice becomes a chance to reveal the Buddha nature the sutra already promised was yours. This channel is a labor of sincere practice and discipline. Over the years, we have shared more than 3,000 videos freely, driven by the vow to make these teachings available to every seeker worldwide. To ensure the highest quality and consistency, we have personally invested thousands of dollars into the production of this content. We have done this gladly to protect the integrity of the message. While we frequently receive sponsorship offers from external organizations, we respectfully decline them. We believe that to keep the teachings pure and our transparency absolute, we must remain independent of corporate influence. Because we are not monetized by YouTube, this work is sustained only through our personal contributions and the generosity of our community. If you have found value in this library of resources, we invite you to help us sustain it. Your support is never an obligation, but it is a vital contribution that ensures these teachings remain free and accessible to all without compromise. If you wish to walk this path with us, you can find the support link in the description.